Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thanks for coming and looking at today's video. Now today's video is one of my favourite uncommons that came out of one of the previous commander sets, and it is Thalisse Reverent Medium. Now you already know that because you're here for it, so I'll just recap what she does. It's 3 white and a black for a 3/4 human cleric, and at the beginning of each end step create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Now this means everyone's turn, so if you've got some way of creating tokens in your opponent's phase, you can make sure that you get the 1/1 white spirits equal to the number of tokens you've created in that phase at their end step, and it is really good fun. It's very annoying, it upsets people, and it's one of the very first decks I seem to remember streaming about 18 months ago when I first started streaming on Twitch. It's down below if you want to go and have a look-see. And it's one of the ones that I had built in real life at that stage when I decided to take the plunge into doing the YouTube videos and the streaming side of things. So I've always kept this one in real life in paper. I did have a version of it in MTGO. I deleted it a while back, so I got a bit fed up with it, and there wasn't really much happening. But recently there's been some things I've wanted to use it in real life and update it, so I figured, right, done the update in real life, we'll do the update on MTGO and do it as a video. So here we go. Kicking off with the mana base, black and white lands all the way through. There's a few things that I think I need to point out. We've got Baradur in here to get some orcs amassing. We've got the Baldur's Gates in here, so we've got quite a few gates in this deck. I've actually found us play it really well with Thalisse, because Citadel, Black Dragon, and a few of the other ones like Heapgate. You get to untap a gate, tap an untapped gate you control and get a treasure token. Yeah, okay, I'll pay 2 mana to get a treasure token, which then with Thalisse in play gives me a flyer as well. That's fine, do it at the end of your turn. Okay. And they seem to work quite well, so that's why we've got a few gates in here. The rest of it, plains and swamps. Plaza of Harmony's obviously here, so we've got the gates, we get a little bit of life gain, and then we've got Reliquary Tower. I don't own Scrubland in real life. This is the one difference between my real life deck and my MTGO deck. In real life, this is just another swamp in my deck, because I've got one in MTGO, it's gone in the deck. If you want to build this in real life and you're looking at the cost on the deck link from MTG Goldfish, take this out, you're taking it down to about this one land in real life costs half the monetary value of the deck. Now what I will say on MTGO, and I'll be really honest about it, it's at the moment of recording this deck itself is just over 25 tickets. And it's really very good. So it's actually one of the cheapest decks I've done on YouTube for quite a while. Bear that in mind, even with Scrubland in the deck. So keep that in your mind while you're going through it. And Urborg's in here as well, just to make sure we've got swamps that we need. Artifact Memorize, Tantalite, Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal and Marble Diamond, and Talisman of Hierarchy. That's enough. You don't need much. We're topping out. Most of our cards end up at 4 mana. That's the biggest slot we've got. Beyond that, it's great to have the mana to cast things, but as long as we get into that 4 mana mark, we'll be able to make this deck tick. And obviously Thalisse at 5 is where we need to be, and you get there pretty quickly with this deck, believe it or not, even though it doesn't look like you will, but you do. So the rest of it, we want to be making tokens and gaining some life to stay alive to keep our tokens going. So we're going with Authority of Consuls, Cleric class to give us the extra life when we gain it. Then we've got Legion's Landing as our 37th land. We get the Vampire token, and then we get to make Vampire tokens when we get it to transform, because attacking with 3 creatures with this deck isn't hard. Bear that in mind. Lunar Veteran gives us some more life along with Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant. There's reasons for this, which we'll come on to shortly. Soul Ring I've mentioned. One of the reasons we have all the life gain in here. Griffin Airy. Yep, we'll make a beginning of your end step. If you gain 3 or more life this turn, you get a Flying Griffin. And with Thalisse in play, you'll also get a White Spirit token. Just remember, one thing I'm going to say now, so I don't have to keep saying it, when you're doing your end of turn triggers, always stack Thalisse on the stack first and let everything else resolve before that, because Thalisse then goes, I've seen all these tokens come into play, let's give you all these spirits. If you do it the wrong way around, you don't get anything. I've done it a few times when I played it previously. Just a little thing to point out. Raise the alarms here, server expeditions here, more ways of getting to tokens quickly. Suture Priest, we gain life when we get creatures under our play. When an opponent gets creatures, they lose a life. That's fine. Daxos gives us even more life gain, so, you know, with Cleric class, we're doubling up. Blood Artist, when it dies, someone loses one, we gain one. Thank you. Zulaput Cutthroat's the other version of it, but it does it across the board, so each opponent loses one and we gain one. Cruel Celebrant, each opponent loses one, you gain one. Yep, okay, that's better. Elias does the same thing, basically a lot of twists and turns. Hidden Stockpile's nice. Beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, you get a servo token, but you can pay 1, sack something and scry. As long as that something you've sacked is another token creature, you'll replace it with a servo and you'll get a trigger from Thalisse if it's in play. Keep it in mind. Halo Fountain is one of the reasons I've upgraded my real life deck and gone back to it on MTGO. Once I have managed to do the untap 15 win the game thing in real life. Not yet on MTGO, I'm still trying, so it's still going to be turning up for a while, but it does work in this deck. Inspired Lead is worth having in this deck. Might as well have the background in to pump our creature tokens up if we need to go down the damage route. Lingering Souls, 5 mana, 4 1/1 flyers, thank you. Love Song of Night and Day. Always try and make a friend when you're playing on MTGO Online, when you're playing in a 4-player game. And then, if I give you 2 cards, you're not going to attack me for a couple of turns. Do a little bit of politics with it. You get the bird token, then you get some +1/+1s as well. So it's worth having in here. Marvin gives us another way of getting vampire tokens, even if it's just Marvin attacking. Midnight Haunting, more spirits at instant speed. Obviously, instant speed means you can cast it during someone else's turn and still trigger Thalisse to get even more spirits. Bear that in mind. Pious Evangel. Sacrifice another permanent, you can transform it, and then when it dies or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1, you gain 1. So another way of doing that side of it. Prava just pumps everything on your turn and gives you another way to pump out tokens. Adeline, I think everyone's fed up seeing Adeline now from our lovely Midnight Hunt. Yeah, am I right? Is my brain working? Yeah, Midnight Hunt. Yeah, great way of making tokens. For each opponent, create 1/1 human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker you control or they control. Another way of creating them out. Biramaz does the same thing, just gives you cat tokens. Bastion of Remembrance does the whole drain and life gain thing, as well as giving you a token when you first cast it. Nadir's Nightblade, whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. In this deck, this card is amazing. Most of our creatures are tokens, and yeah, that really does upset people. Also works with some of the other things that could be coming up, like treasure tokens. Wonder what I'm getting treasure tokens from in white and black. Denthor, Ruling Steward, is also here. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, you get a soldier token, and then you can sacrifice another creature, paying 2 mana to do that. Everyone loses 1, you gain 1 trick. It's a black-white token deck. You did not expect me not to have Anointed Procession, did you? Okay, fine. Moving on. Ellen Harbury's Busybody. Another way of looking at the top cards of your libraries with all the tokens you've created, which is really cool. Felidar Retreat just gives you cats when you play a land, or pumps your team if you need them to. Heliod is just another way of giving our creatures vigilance, and it's also there because it's 4 mana, create a 2/1 cleric enchantment creature token. It's a creature token. It's fine. Mariel. Yep. That's here as well. Attacks, you create all the 1/1s colourless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. Maybe 1, maybe 2 when the first time you attack, but yeah, it's fine. Release to Memory. Exile target opponent's graveyard for each creature card exiled this way. Get a colourless spirit token. The best I've done with this so far is exiling 8 cards from an opponent's library. Got 8 from here, and then another 8 from here. Unfortunately, I didn't have Anointed Procession in play because my opponent said if I had that, they'd have conceded on the spot. But I didn't. And then someone cast a spell that made all creatures... I can't remember what... It's an enchantment. All creature tokens get -1/-1. Wasn't very happy, but hey. Hey-hum. Where was I? Right. Saradok, Master of Buckland, or another token, non-token creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield as you control, you get Halfling, which is nice. Smothering Tithe, there's the treasures. Core of Grace, even if you're not the monarch, you still get the spirit every turn. And if you are the monarch, you get an angel, which is even better. A Mirror Angel, landfall, gives you a 1/1 birdie. Leyline of the Meek, you really want to get into play just to get around the enchantment that gives everything -1/-1 that I can't remember the name of. I'm sure someone can leave me a comment down below and remind me of it. But Leyline of the Meek counteracts it quite happily, and if you get it into play off your opening hand, even better for you. Mondrak, Gloria Dominus, another way of doubling up our tokens. Wrath of God, Damnation gives a bit of board control. Call to the Feast gives us some vampires with lifelink. It's a bit expensive at 4 mana for 3. I'd prefer 4 mana for 4, or instant for 4 mana for 3, but we'll make do with what we can get. Elandra, the Dusk Rose. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Elandra, and then when Elandra dies, you get all those lovely vampire tokens. Nice. Ratterbrick of Urborg is one of the other reasons I updated the deck. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. This got Vigilance and Ward itself. And whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2 zombie in addition to its other colours and types. Doesn't say anything about exiling the card. Okay then. Sovereignty, just to pump out some more artifact vampire tokens for us, and then everyone does the same with Lord of Innistrad. As soon as you play it, you -2 it to get the emblem. Make your creatures bigger, then worry if you can keep it in play or not. That's all it's here for, permanent pump. And Tessia Karlov, if creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Yeah. Hello. Right, okay. 5 drops. Garin, the Greatest of Eagles, is also here. Whenever it attacks, target attacking creature gains flying till the end of turn, and at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life, you get a bird. That does then helps you get other things flying, and then carries on giving you flying, and it's very good. Reverent Hoplite just gives you a whole load of soldiers for your devotion to white. Divine Visitation would then make all those lovely soldiers 4/4 angels, and give your opponents quite a lot of headaches. Reveling Riches is here as well, just to give us some treasure. I'm not expecting to win the game with Reveling Riches, just so we're clear, but it gives your opponents something else to think about instead of just worrying about your tokens. And Invasion of Tolivard is very nice if we can get it to transform. Return target non-battle permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is lovely for 5 mana, if you've lost one of these guys. But when it transforms, creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, create a white and black spirit creature token with flying. This goes on the stack, this goes on the stack, get another one. Yeah, okay then. Regina the Redeemed. If we gained a bit of life, if your team gained life this turn, create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. Nice. Stack it in the right order. Remember what I said. Blood Money, blow the board up. And finally, Secure the Wastes, just to give us that instant speed load of creatures that we may need, and to trigger Thalisse so we may be able to win. Now, there is a couple of cards I've taken out, and I know people are going to ask where they are, so I'm just going to go over them quickly. The first one I'm expecting you're wondering where it is Intangible Virtue. Yeah, you can play it. I'm not going to argue it. It probably can go in the deck somewhere. I'm not sure what I'll take out at this stage. The only thing that springs to mind is the Pierce Evangel. You could swap that over for the Virtue if you wanted to. Might be better. But I think everyone expects Intangible Virtue in a token deck, so I was trying to avoid it for a change. The other card you always see in my decks is... Oops. There we go. Where is it? There you go. Elixir of Immortality. Not in the deck. Giving it a rest for this deck. Yeah, I've got no real ways of getting things back from the graveyard. I'm very aware of that. But I'm hoping that the amount of tokens and draining I'll be able to do with Thalisse will mean this is not needed in this deck. It may be a mistake on my part. But yeah, I'm not even going to go there today. The other one that people expect to see in something like this is Rise of the Dark Realms. Again, another card you could probably put in. You could swap this over for Secure the Wastes if you want to. Again, yes, possibly should be in the deck, but I'm not playing it for this deck, just to keep it a bit simpler. But that's it. That's the few things I want to mention about Thalisse. I love this deck. It's so much fun to play in real life as well, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go on the stream again sometime soon. So, link to my stream down below. Come and join me on Twitch. Give me a follow over there. If you're not subbed to the channel, love it if you could sub here as well. As I record this, I'm seeing at 224 subscribers, so yeah, getting towards that magic. Well, the first stage of earning any money from YouTube is 500 now, and then somewhere off 1,000 yet. But yeah, help me get up to the 500 at least if you can. And I'll be back next week very soon with, well, another deck tech. There'll be a video tomorrow. If you're still watching this, it'll be a replay of my stream from when I came back from holiday. But yeah, next deck tech will be Monday. Thanks for watching this long, and I will see you sometime soon, hopefully on the stream. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.